My name is Santosh and welcome to my channel Cybersatrix. In today's session, I'm going to uh, show you how to integrate AWS Security Hub with Splunk. I have gone through a lot of various documents on integrating various security services, but I didn't find a concrete documentation or a way through which we can integrate AWS Security Hub with Splunk. So I thought of doing a session on the same. For this video, the prerequisite is that you should be aware of AWS Security Hub. If you are not aware of what is AWS Security Hub, I have created a separate video on the same, and the link for the same will be provided in the description. Okay, so we will first visualize the data flow to understand how the data will flow from the Security Hub to this Splunk, and then we will understand some part of those components and how does they work. Okay, so let's quickly jump on to the understanding and then we'll move on to the hands-on. Okay, so in the hands-on today we are going to perform some required activities. So let's visualize what we're gonna do exactly here. So as I said, there are various products or services in the Splunk which will be sending their findings to Amazon Security Hub. I've mentioned few here as Amazon Inspector, Amazon Macy, Amazon GuardDuty, Firewall Manager, and Integrated Partner Solution, right? So they'll be sending their findings to AWS Security Hub, and then using the EventBridge, I'll be sending the AWS Security Hub logs to the CloudWatch log group, right? And with the help of the Splunk add-on for AWS, which will be installed on this Splunk, right, it will pull the data from these log groups using the programmatic user access that I have created on the AWS IAM. Okay, hope you are clear. The information goes to Security Hub. Security Hub will send to the LogWatch group, and Splunk pulls the data from that specific LogWatch group, right? Okay, great. So we are going to use Amazon EventBridge and the CloudWatch groups here, right? I've explained Amazon EventBridge in my previous video also. I'll share you the link of that video in the description. But in short, it's a serverless event bus which help you to connect a specific source to the target, right? For example, if you want to send the logs from a specific service from the CloudWatch to other targets, right? Let's say that if you want to send the GuardDuty logs, right, which is basically collected by the CloudWatch automatically to, let's say, SQS events, right, or to a specific log watch, right? In that case, your source becomes your GuardDuty and the target becomes your SQS events or the CloudWatch log groups, right? So Amazon EventBridge, as the name suggests, will try to connect a source and a target so that it will be easy for the administrator to send a specific source to a different targets as per the requirement of the organization, right? So again, it's always helpful to visualize whatever the concepts that I explained. So if you see here on the left hand side, we have all these different services that we have, and then when you send a service from here, the Amazon EventBridge will act as a bridge, as it mentioned, and it will have an event bus. So these event bus, every single combination of source and target will have its event bus, right? So at the same time, you can enable multiple source and target combination, and it will have multiple event bus during that time. So each source will be sent to the corresponding target using the event bus that the EventBridge provide for the source and the target combination, right? And this binding can be performed by multiple services like AWS Lambda, Kinesis Data for Firehose, Amazon SNS, or SQS, or whatever you can think of, right? So a source, a destination, and then this is combining them. Okay, great. If you still have any query, just shoot out a comment on the comment section, or you can also send me an email on info@cybersatrix.com. I'll provide the information in the description again. So A similar thing that we do on the other videos also. I have listed out the list of I've listed out the steps that I will be following while doing the hands-on, right? So this will be very helpful. So let's see. Let's start with step by step and see how we can perform the integration, right? Log into a console, and then as the first step is mentioned, we need to enable the security hub, right? So open your console, AWS console, and then log into your console, and then open the security hub web console, right? In the security hub, once you enable it, right, you will see some data which is flowing here right now. But initially when you enable it, it might take some time for all those configuration or data to come inside your security hub and populate all these data, right? So if you see here, we have the latest finding from Amazon GuardDuty and nothing from inspector. We see IAM access analyzer, system manager patch, and firewall manager, right? So even after enable security hub, if you don't see data in this, the best way to pull the data is simply go to GuardDuty. Let me show you. You can go to the GuardDuty, right? And you can enable the sample finding. That will be described in the step number 5. Okay, so let us understand security hub. After you enable, you will see these are the summaries that you have. This is the latest finding from integration, and if you see the security standards, right, I have enabled the security standard from all these 3 that we have: PCI DSS, CI AWS Foundation Benchmark, and AWS Foundation Security Best Practices. So I've enabled everything, right? If you don't want any benchmark from these, you can disable them, right? And then once you get some findings, all those findings will be updated here in the findings section, right? If you see here, I have all my GuardDuty findings being listed here, right? And if you see, there's a tab called integration, right? As I mentioned in the while showing the PowerPoint presentation, we have multiple services of AWS from which it is receiving the finding, right? So if you see, as of now, presently, I have enabled by default, you will get the findings enabled on firewall manager, IAM access analyzer. If you see here, the green mark, right? If you want to stop, you can click on stop accept findings, and this will stop sending the finding to security hub, right? Similarly goes to patch manager, inspector, GuardDuty, detective, Macy, right? And these are all third party, right? You see, you have alert logic, oxygen, attack IQ, barracuda, big ID. So there's also an integration provided with the help for the Splunk also, right? So if you want to search the products or services, you can simply search in here, right? So if you see, I have this product here, right? For Splunk Phantom or Splunk Enterprise, we have these things, but I think you need to purchase a subscription to use these findings, right? So if an organization want, they can use this. They can pay to the subscription and then enable the security finding from this, because this will help you pull and push the data to Splunk, right? But I'm going to show you another way through which we can get the data of security hub to the Splunk, right? There's nothing much that we have on the settings as of now. I have not made any addition to the settings. But if you want, you can add the member accounts. Let's say that you have whenever you take a subscription from AWS, right, you get a root account, and then let's say you take in multiple accounts from that after that root account, right? So you can add all those accounts here. Since this is a free AWS account for me, I will not have multiple accounts to show you, but you can come here and add the member accounts so that you can have a single pane from all the across AWS accounts, and you can see all those findings here, right? Okay, so hope you got a good idea about security hub and how does the findings are ingested into the security hub. Okay, great. So the next step says creation of IAM policy, right? So let's do that. Let's go to IAM, Identity Access Manager, and create a IAM policy, right? So let me create a new IAM policy, and let me tell this policy name as let's say service account underscore security underscore hub, right? Okay, so let me create a user account named service underscore account underscore security hub, and I'm going to use a programmatic access which will provide you an access key ID and the secret key. Click on next. Permissions, right? So I'll be adding a policy and attached to this, but otherwise also what we're going to do is we're going to create the existing policy here, right? So as I told in the visual diagram, right? So I'm going to take the security hub logs and then I'm going to send it to the CloudWatch groups, log groups, using the help of the EventBridge, right? So if the Splunk wants to pull the data from this CloudWatch log group, it needs to have the required access or permission to that account which we're gonna use to pull the data from the log groups, right? So here in the existing policy, search for CloudWatch logs, right? So if you see, a read-only access is required for us to pull the data from the log groups, right? So we will check mark this, right? And once you check mark this, click on next, right? Add a tag if you need, and then review it, right? So I'm creating a service account security hub, providing the programmatic access, and then manage policy. I'm just pulling the CloudWatch log read only access, right? And then create the user. Let me download the CSV file and let me name this as service account, right? And then save it. Okay, great. So now we have the service account created here. You can also, if you think that you don't have the required policy already created, like these are the list of policy which is existing already. If you think that you don't have the existing policy already, you can create a new policy and then attach that policy to the user, right? You can see my previous video to see how to create a manual, how to create a custom policy and attach that policy to the account. Okay, hope you have a clear understanding of how to create an IAM account and attach the policy or permission to that respective account. Okay, so we are good until the steps 1 to steps 3, where we have enabled the security hub, created IAM policy and attached the existing I have created an IAM account and attached the existing policy to that account. Okay, great. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to push all the security hub logs. What are the logs that you see here? I'm going to push or send these logs, whatever we have this finding or the other information that has been collected by security hub to the CloudWatch log groups, right? So let's see how to do that. So quickly go to the services and go to CloudWatch log groups or a CloudWatch, right? So let us search for CloudWatch and here we have, right? Once you open the CloudWatch, right, simply go on the rules, right? This is your Amazon EventBridge which I've just discussed, and this is your rules, right? So I'm going to create a new rule and I will say here, okay, what does the EventBridge does? EventBridge does, it connects the source and the target using the event bus, right? So the source here is security hub, right? So I want security, all kind of events, irrespective of whatever we are getting in the security hub, and I want this all logs from the security hubs to be sent to a target, and the target is what in this case is log groups, right? So I have CloudWatch log group, and you can give a custom name here. Let me say security underscore hub, right? So once you using the Amazon EventBridge, you create a rule to send all the security hub logs to the CloudWatch log groups named security underscore hub. Then click the configure details, right? And let me give the name as service security underscore hub. Give a description. Please note that it should be enabled, right? And click on create rule. So if you see, I've created a service security hub, right? And as you show in the configuration, right, it must be sending the logs to the CloudWatch log group name security hub. So to view that, simply go on the left hand side and under the log section you will see log groups, right? So click on the log groups and you will see security hub log group here, right? So as of now, there is no logs being streaming to this security hub log group, right? So let's go to GuardDuty and try to generate some. So if as I told, right, it might take some time to pull the data into the. It might take some time to push the data from security hub to the what do you say, log groups, right? So to make it quicker, let's go to the GuardDuty, which is my step 5, right? Step 6 in the presentation which I have shown, and go to your settings and click on generate sample finding, right? So as soon as I generate sample finding, you can go on the finding section and you can see the finding created just a few seconds ago, right? Okay, so let's go and see if we have any CloudWatch log groups. So as I mentioned, right, you should be receiving the logs in some time into your log groups. Let's try to refresh this. Okay, it might take some time. In the meantime, let's go and let's proceed ahead with the configuration and on the Splunk side, right? So first, you need to install the Splunk. You should have a Splunk instance and you should have the Splunk Add On installed. The Splunk Add On name is Splunk Add On for Amazon Web Services, right? So that should be installed on your machine. As you see here, I've already installed this Splunk Add On for AWS. This is pretty simple. Just need to install this Splunk add-on and you can check the documentation of this Splunk, or I can send you the link, or I'll share you the link in the description as how to install this Splunk add-on for AWS services, right? And once you go here, click on the configuration part so that we can configure the IAM account which we have created just now, right? So service account security hub. So let me quickly open my credentials, right? So this is the credential which we have downloaded. If you see the service username is service account security hub, access key is this, and security key is this, right? So let me configure the account in this Splunk. Okay, so before I create an IAM account, let me first go and create a new index in which I will be sending the logs. I'll be receiving the logs from the security hub, right? So go to settings, go to indexes, and let me create a new index. Let me say service security hub, okay, and then click on save. Okay, so my security hub is created here. Now coming back to the configuration on this Splunk add-on for AWS, to add an account, click on add here. Give the name of the account. You can give any name. So let me say security hub service. Account key ID, copy from the Excel sheet which you have downloaded, and the secret key again, copy and paste it, right? And leave the region category as global and click on add. So once you create an account, the account will automatically be populated here, and that is Security Hub services here, right? Okay, great. So now let's go to the input section. And then add the inputs so that it can receive the log in a proper log format or proper formats and parse the data accordingly, right? So in the input section, we basically have to create an input so that input for the CloudWatch log groups, right? So you have one CloudWatch here, but we are going to pull the logs from CloudWatch log. So that's why I'm going to custom data type and then clicking on the CloudWatch logs. Give the name. Let me give the name as Security Hub Service and select the account. The account is Security Hub _ service, which we have created. And I am going to receive the logs from which region? North Virginia, right? That is US East. I think one. US East, North Virginia, right? Select that and the log group name, right? So we have to give the log group name. Go back to AWS, go back to your CloudWatch log groups, and the log group name is AWS Event Security Hub, right? So copy this and paste it here, right? Okay, this one, right? So we have copied the CloudWatch log group name, that is AWS Event Security Hub, and pasted in the log group part, right? So we have a name, the account, and the region from which we are pulling, and this will stay dot star as I'm going to pull the data from every event type. If you want to restrict or filter the data as what kind of based on any specific criteria, you can give a regex here. Otherwise, you can leave as it is, right? And you can change the date if you want to modify this. But as of now, I'm just leaving as it is, as I want to pull the data anything after 1970, right? And this is my new index that I have created, right? So if you see Service Security Hub, so I'll go to Service Security Hub now. So all the data which will be sent to Security Hub will be sent to my index service _ security _ hub, and I'm going to decrease the polling time to 200 seconds, right? And click on save. So as you see, now I have my input configuration completed, and the information can, if you want to verify, you can verify the information, the account details, the region, the index in which it's gonna be pushed, and from which log groups it's gonna pull the data, right? So we are good on the Splunk side. Let me open Search and Reporting app. And before we see we're getting data or not, let us see whether we have any data being pushed to Security Hub or not, right? So let me refresh this page. Okay, great. So now if you see in the same log group AWS Event Security Hub, I am getting the findings from various products or third-party system, whichever is enabled, right, in the Security Hub. Okay, so we should be seeing these logs in the, or all these log streams we have, we should be able to see in the Splunk, right? So let me open this Splunk. Okay, so before we move ahead with that, right, I also want to explain you one more thing, is that in the IAM, if you see, right, we have added the permission, correct? Let us go to the users. I've given Service Account Security Hub, expanded. Let us open this. Right, so here this will be applied on all the resources, right, if you see. But if you want, you can restrict the resources on which you want to apply these settings, right? I don't see this option here, but otherwise when you create a manual policy, right, let me show you. Let me show you, like when I create a create policy, I'll choose a service that is log group here, CloudWatch logs. and I'll say I want to list and read everything, right? So here in the resource section, it gives me an option. You need all the resources or specific log group, right? So it's a good practice that you restrict that to a specific resource from where you want to pull the data, so that just in case of any security like activity or security actions, your respective data can be saved, right? Only that respective data will be exposed and not everything. I'm sorry, I'm just expanding the log, expanding the size. So now if you see in the log group, right, let me add the ARN, right? So here, what is ARN? That is basically the resource name, right? So what I'm gonna do here is in the logwatch group. So in the user account, since I am saying anyone who want to get the event from this log group from a specific log, I mean to say any account which I have created having the access to log group will be able to get the log events only from a specific log group, right? And in this case is this one, and you can find the ARN section here, right? So you just need to copy the part until the from the actual name that you have, AWS Event Security Hub, and paste in here, right? And you can click on any region because you might have multiple regions, so you might have to enable in a multiple region in a specific account. So I would prefer to keep any, otherwise you can give comma and add regions here, right? And then click on add, right? I want all the log stream. If you see in the CloudWatch, we have multiple log stream. I have almost 71 log stream in this logwatch group, right? So if you want to restrict streaming to a specific log stream, you can give the filter here, right? But in this case, I want to log stream from anywhere, right? So log group, let me just add the resource here first. Sorry, resource is this, and I want any log stream name, and the region is any, right? So now I have restricted my restricted the account to only pull the data from this respective security event hub log stream, security hub log group, and the corresponding log groups, log streams, right? Okay, great. And then when you click on review policy, then you can do that activity, right? So so I have performed all the integration step on this Splunk side. I'm already getting the logs into my logs, all the log streams under the security log group security hub. So now let's go and see in this Splunk, are we getting the logs or not, right? So the index is, I think, what is the index? It's service security hub, right? So let me go and search for the same. Okay, great. So now if you see, I got 71 events, right? And the data is coming, I set it for last 24 hours, and this data is at 11 a.m. Sorry, 11 a.m., right? So now these are the logs that I'm getting, right? So if you see, let's say this log, right? So this log is from security hub findings imported. It's very clearly mentioned the details, what kind of finding it is, right? From this account, right? Generated by GuardDuty, which region, and blah 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 detected, right? So this information you have. In the same way, if you want to get, so these are the logs that I'm getting from GuardDuty because I don't have any other finding in the security hub. But in the real time, you will get a lot of logs, and then you have to perform the investigation and analysis based on that, right? So here, if you see, the source type is this, and the sources are all the log stream names that have been added or embedded in the source field, right? All the log stream names, right? These are log streams. So if you have 71, you are seeing exactly 71 events here, right? Got it? Okay, great. So hope you got an understanding as how to ingest the security hub's logs to CloudWatch log groups using the EventBridge, and then how you can configure the required configuration on both the ends, either on Splunk end or AWS end, right? Let me know if you have any queries or question in the comment section. I'll reply as soon as possible. And let me know if you have any other topics for me which you want me to cover and show you that, right? Okay, great. Have a great day. Thank you.